What's the lifestyle change for you? You know, you're a California trial lawyer, and then you pull the trigger, and then all of a sudden you're living in a farm in Kentucky.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because my practice has kind of blossomed to where I was getting phone calls from people that read like the Wall Street Journal article or Chicago Tribune, the articles from LA Times and stuff about some of the weird cases I was having. And they said, I got a case just like that. Either a lawyer or a client would call and say, hey, they did that to me too. You know, the loss prevention, retail theft, coerced confession stuff. So then I thought, God, you know, if we're back here, your horses are happy, you're happy, and I'm more centrally located to go to New York and to, it's hard to travel out of California, to Florida, to New York. It's a day travel. Where from here, I can get just to Texas, to Colorado, anywhere is like a 2 or 3 hour flight. California is 3.5, but.
So is your trial coming up in San Diego? I know you have one coming up in Florida too.
That's one of the loss prevention. This was a brain injury case in a car crash brain injury that Jamie's working up. Jamie kind of took over.
So for those that don't know, his daughter Jamie is a lawyer, practices with him, and was up for Trial Lawyer of the Year recently for hitting massive verdict 2020 or 2019.
Yeah, we had a COVID verdict where it was her first multi-million-dollar verdict that she was starting to think, gosh, Dad, I've had 8 or 9 verdicts now, 6 or 7 with you, and I keep 300, 400, but she couldn't break the $1 million. Kind of young lawyers, they got that barrier, like you want it, you're not a lawyer till you can get $1 million better case for some reason. So she kind of had her first one back in October 2020 during COVID. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and Jamie, I've sat on a few panels for her. One, we were in Mexico together in the Dorda Trial College one, and she's phenomenal, man. Your daughter knows her shit.
Oh man, I had to get out of the way. I said, Jamie, you're hitting it. It took me 15 years to hit my first big, and she was in her 7th or 8th year, and I defer to her. She's much more IT savvy, much more business savvy. I was just kind of winging it and doing,
Well, let's do another pour, because I want to talk next segment about the kind of the remote, because you've been doing remote before people were doing remote. Like you've been here, just traveling back and forth.
I'm starting to realize I'm the whiskey guy, but I'm the slower drinker here.
What's next, boys?
Lawyers have a heavy hand, my friend. We got to decompress, de-stress pretty quick. I want to see this. What's the one from
the
Portland?
Teardrop?
Yeah, did that Teardrop out. It's an interesting one for many reasons. I'm a big supporter of what Teresa Bowen and Courtney Rowley, and my daughter's kind of joined in that force, and Kelly Hanker. I've been thinking, God, having some of my biggest verdicts in sexual harassment cases and coerced confession cases, I'm thinking, who the hell gives anybody the right to think women aren't equal to men anywhere, especially the courtroom? And so this is Freeland Farms is in Portland, Oregon.
More for yourself.
It's a woman-run, all women-owned and all women-run establishment. And I kind of started collecting bourbons outside of Kentucky because I started seeing a lot of similarities in all the, Bardstown. When you got up to like 80, 90 bottles, I'm like 110. I don't have a huge collection, but like 105, 110 bottles. So I started going to other states. And I was going, God, Ohio stinks. Same limestone, but it's just not the same. Indiana, fishy, smoky. Tennessee, not the best. But this is actually something I'd compare to a Kentucky bourbon, and it's from Portland, Oregon, of all places.
Wow.
So, and I thought the lady-owned thing was cool. I was really fascinated by that, and I want to go visit them sometime. I'm actually about 10 chapters done with a 13-chapter book on punitive damages with trial guides who you know.
Really, yeah.
So, and they're in Portland also. So I said I'm going to do a double visit and go see that distillery and visit trial guides. And so, anyway, here's to women in law and women in the world.
Yeah, sure. Quality for all,
I mean, what would life be without women?
Pretty boring.
A bunch of guys.
Pretty small.
Yeah.
Everything would be fun all the time.
This is really good. This is smooth.
No, I think it's interesting you say that.
Yeah, Chris has 3 daughters. I'm about to have my 3rd daughter, so we're all girl dad, and
I have 2 daughters.
2 daughters, yeah.
Have we didn't discuss it in the last episode, but have you decided on a cutoff, or is?
I don't. So, well, first my wife, she's like, I'm 40, I'm pregnant, Then she's like, it was all, you got to get snipped as soon as it's over. And then the other day she says to me, she's like, let's have like 5 kids. I was like,
My wife's mother had her last kid, number 7, at 47.
wow.
And they're all relatively normal. So there's something, if you can afford it and you within your daily job and everything, keep going. Just keep going. They're so fun.
I'd love
it. Growing up the son of an obstetrician, I saw it change from used to be like amniocentesis mandatory at 35, then it went to 40. Now it's optional till 45. They don't really require you. An OB-GYN won't require you mandatory until 45 now. It's soon to be 50.
A mandatory what?
Amniocentesis, where they go in and pull out fluids from your uterus and check the chromosomes and stuff.
Gotcha.
So you can know before you have the baby whether it's
Sure.
going to have problems. It's just for chromosome.
Well, we, as a society, I think we're aging a little slower, right? Like when you were 40 in 1985 is different than when you're 40 now.
Well, yeah, and life expectancy is up in the 80s now. It used to be in the 60s, 70s. And you know, medicine and lawyers are making the world a safer place, and people are living a lot longer.
I mean, going back to female-driven, I'm interested to know how they distill this, because you're right. You mentioned a few states that suck. They're different than Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with distillation method. A lot of craft distillers bought pot stills, which mimics Scotch.
Yeah.
Whereas all your favorite bourbons are column still.
Big, tall columns rather than the flat, small pot still.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to finish this before I jump to that, but I'm interested to see
Oh,
if
yeah. It's not for not
I
being
think
a
it's very
Kentucky
good.
bourbon.
Smooth. It's got to be lower proof though. I mean, it's,
I guess in the low 90s.
yeah.
But it's drinkable though. Some of the Ohio and Indiana
92?
stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the Ohio
like
and
it a
Indiana
lot.
It's very
is
good.
almost not drinkable. I mean, it's just I have to make myself
I don't know
enjoy
if I've
it.
had ones from
I should have brought one, but I didn't want to ruin
Where's
the day.
where's Whistle Pig from? Where's that from?
Whistle
Vermont.
Pig is-
Vermont?
They have a fascinating story.
They're almost all rye, but
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I know.
They
it's
started
not-
doing bourbon recently.
Did they really?
Really?
Yeah.
Good
And you're
to
a
know.
huge Whistle Pig fan.
love it because I love ryes, man.
You guys did 2 or 3 barrels.
We did 1 barrel Whistle Pig. No, but it's, I mean, I just like that earthier tone sometimes. Like the Whistle Pig, you can kind of taste like dirt with it.
Yeah.
and just a good mouthful of spice.
Oh yeah. I mean,
The
it's all
rye,
spice.
the rye just gets you so good.